This is the Kitengela Declaration. We the people wish to state as follows. On forceful abduction.
It is now been 2 long months since Bob Njagi and his 2 brothers vanished without a trace. The question on everyone's lips remains, is Bob Njagi and his 2 brothers dead or alive? Bob Njagi, a name that's now echoing through the halls of justice and rattling the corridors of power in Kenya, has thrown none other than former Acting Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli into hot water with the judiciary. Njagi's sudden disappearance has become a symbol of the mysterious forces at play in a nation already grappling with unrest through corruption. Now the story gets murkier with each passing day. A video now making its rounds on social media reveals the chilling moment Bob Njagi was snatched from a matatu by masked men. Their voices are cold and assertive, claiming Njagi was armed with a gun. But in the same video, Bob's voice cuts through, desperate and defiant, denying the accusations of being an armed robber. It is a haunting clip, one that raises more questions than it answers.
Wait, madam. Simuke kwa wapi? Endea simu.
Ruto wasn't just an ordinary citizen. He was a vocal critic of the government, a familiar face at protests, marching against police brutality, and standing at the front lines of the Gen Z protests that once brought business to a standstill.
This is the Kitengela Declaration. We the people wish to state as follows. On forceful abductions, the NIS and the DCI must tell Kenyans who is kidnapping and abducting forcefully and arresting Kenyans illegally. On allegations of foreign infiltration, we want...
Alongside his 2 brothers Jamil and Aslam Longton, Njagi disappeared into the shadows during one such protest in Kitengela. The timing was peculiar, right when former acting IG Gilbert Masengeli was tightening his grip during the protests. Since their vanishing act, the police have been remarkably tight-lipped. Even the courts have failed to extract any clear answers, as Masengeli, once a man of the law, appeared to be playing by his own rules, flexing his authority by dodging court appearances.
Well, in as much as we are aware the matter is before court, and we may, which is sub judice, but the IG, the substantive IG, has clearly stated that the role of the National Police Service is to ensure that law and order is maintained and to enforce all laws and regulations. When we talk about abductions, ladies and gentlemen, abduction is a penal code offense. An offense that we as officers of the National Police Service, we are supposed to deal with it decisively. Investigate, profile, and take the perpetrators or whoever is involved in abduction before court. It is unfortunate that we have received a lot of complaints regarding the abductions. The National Police Service is not involved in any case of abduction. Our duty and responsibility is to make sure that whoever is involved in abduction is apprehended and taken to court, and to also ensure that the abductees are saved and we bring them back alive. We have received a couple of complaints that certain peoples have been abducted, including the so-called the Kitengela 3. We have taken upon ourselves to ensure that the matter is investigated and it is still under active investigation. So mine is to reiterate that as officers of the National Police Service, we are not holding the so-called the Kitengela 3. They are not in our custody. Any person that is arrested by officers of the National Police Service is taken to a gazetted police officer, like I said. We don't have any other detention facility. We don't detain them. We apprehend them. If they are capable, we process and take them before court. If they are not capable and the investigation exonerates them, then we release them. So that matter of the Kitengela 3 is under investigation. We have received the report, and our officers are working day and night to make sure that they are rescued in whichever way or in whichever manner. Thank you, sir.
Meanwhile, the DCI has distanced itself, with its head boldly stating that no one in their ranks was involved in the abduction of the Gen Z protesters. But it's the new police boss Douglas Kanja who adds another layer of intrigue. His statement flatly denied police involvement, claiming that the National Police Service has no knowledge of the trio's whereabouts. In fact, he insists the Kitengela abductions weren't a police operation at all. If not the police, then who?
Let me start by saying this. Number one, you are aware that I've just taken over the office now. But what I want to mention is that what I've gotten from our officers is that we don't have the Kitengela 3 with us. But what I know is that a report was made, and we have got an active investigation on the same. And we're also urging the people of Kenya, people of goodwill, anybody with any information can still be able to come forward and probably provide us with some more information. To criminals, let them not test me. We will not give them space. And in the same line, I want to urge the members of the public to work with the service so that you can be able to ensure that there is safety and security in our country. All manner of criminals, including cattle rustlers, including terrorists, and those who create terror, we don't have space for them.
Just as Kenyans were trying to digest the official denials, Babu Owino's tweet dropped like a bombshell. Yaani Ruto has killed Babu Njagi. On the other side, President William Ruto, now squarely in the spotlight, has vehemently denied any knowledge of police abductions. He has repeatedly called for law and order to be maintained, stressing that the police must carry out their duties without overstepping their bounds.
The police must never act outside the framework of the rule of law. They must do that which only the Constitution and the law allows them to do. And it is very clear that any operation of the police outside the parameters of the law, the police will be held to account. Whether it is holding citizens beyond the stipulated time, but I must be thoroughly clear to you. When police arrest somebody, there is a constitutional timeline which they are allowed by the law to hold that person.
24 hours.
That does not amount to an abduction.
24 hours.
In my opinion. A case in point is what has just been said here about what happened earlier today. And you guys clearly said in this conference that was an abduction. I mean, it's just clear now that it is not an abduction. This is an arrest, and the police have come forward to say this is the situation. We have arrested this person, and it is just good for us to all of us follow the law. And I agree with you. The police must act within the law. But let me ask you one question also, Latif. I have never, in this conversation, which is now 20 minutes in, are you guys bothered about the fact that Parliament was burnt? Are you guys concerned that millions of businesses of Kenyans, hardworking Kenyans, were destroyed? How do you feel?
But it all happened.
How do you feel?
It all happened under your watch, Mr. President.
No, but this is
at the end of the day,
this is why we are saying
you sought to keep us safe.
We must be even.
Killings would be a thing of the past. We continue to hear him say that his is a government that observes the rule of law. Honorable Speaker, as we speak today, the acting Inspector General of Police has been convicted and is subject to a 6-month jail term just because he's been instructed by his superiors not to honor court summons to appear to explain the disappearance of Bob Njagi, somebody that I know personally, Jamil Langton and Aslam Langton. Honorable Speaker, there is nobody who can be happy to live in a country such as this. And you can see here, from both sides of the house, no one can support these happenings in our country. Just across the border in Dar es Salaam, the police plucked somebody, an opposition leader from the Chadema party, from a moving bus in the full glare of the public. And the guy in hours turned up dead, Honorable Speaker, and his face has been disfigured by acid. We cannot be spoken to in the same terms as countries like Tanzania. Even this young MCA from Wajir was plucked from the streets of Nairobi. So, Honorable Chair, we would want that we all as leaders take a very strong position and ask William Ruto. We will not ask you about the other promises you break. Even if you don't build us the roads and the stadiums you promised us, please stop killing us. Stop abducting people and bodies showing up in quarries. At the end of the day, Mr. Speaker, it is the responsibility of government to protect life and limb, and every disappearance must be explained by none other than William Ruto. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.